I'm here in Sun Valley at the Allen & Co. conference, and I'm joined now by the CEO of Clear biometrics identity company, Karen Seidman-Becker. Karen, thanks so much for joining us here.
Great to be here in Sun Valley.
So there's so much talk about AI, and one of the risks of AI are these synthetic identities, false identities, and the manipulation that could come from them. How do you see your company playing into the future of AI, given those concerns?
In a world of synthetic identities, true identity, trusted identity is more important than ever, not to mention witnessed identity. So what you're hearing from companies across the spectrum, whether it be healthcare, whether it be gig, or whether it be crypto, is knowing that someone really came to the airport and enrolled that witnessed identity is massively important.
And so how are you using AI to make sure that you're enabling people your customers to ensure that the people they're dealing with, whether it's customers or employees or applicants, are who they say they are?
As a girl who likes to live on the bleeding edge of technology, I'm obsessed with everything AI. So at Clear, we're using AI in every work stream every day, whether that be in legal, in finance, in HR, in operations. And then we're partnering with companies like Greenhouse, because with North Koreans infiltrating the US workforce, it is so important for companies focused on the HR, the interview, the scheduling, the software side to ensure total identity integrity. And so we've been partnering with companies like Greenhouse to ensure that trusted identity in the applicant from day one, and then moving them through the process.
So Clear is partnering with Greenhouse to ensure that applicants are who they say they are. How has this partnership gone so far, and how do you expect it to scale both within Greenhouse and at other types of companies?
So we've just announced it. It hasn't launched yet, so early days, but there's certainly an enormous amount of enthusiasm from Greenhouse's customers who are saying this is exactly what we need. We need help ensuring that someone not only is who they say they are, but when they show up, it's the same person who started, took the tech test, passed it, etc. In a hybrid or remote world, this is more important than ever. And what you are also hearing from so many other companies in this space is that they need this trusted identity integrity. And so it's certainly opened up a world of possibilities from partnerships.
How big is the addressable market for that? Because we are seeing more return to work. So many people interview in person. So is this something that is really a mass opportunity?
This is a mass opportunity not only in the US, but around the world. A lot of US companies have employees in India, have employees all over the world. And so ensuring that your workforce is who they say they are, that once they onboard, that they're accessing the right information that they should have access to, is so important for workforce security, for asset security.
So you're working with Greenhouse for applicants, but then also for workforce identification with T-Mobile. Tell us about that partnership and what other types of companies might want to do that kind of workforce identification with you.
So the T-Mobile partnership has been really powerful, and T-Mobile has been out in front talking about it on what it's done for the integrity and the security of their workforce. And then other workforce products like DocuSign. So employees as well as people outside of their workday are using DocuSign to sign agreements. And for high fidelity agreements, for consent management, of course you shouldn't just push enter. You should use your face and know exactly who it is who's signing the document. So I think you're seeing so many use cases of identity, of security, and of a need to drive efficiency and automation as well.
And so at what point will we see people use your technology to be able to check their email or log into their computer?
Well, we've announced a partnership with Okta, and so you're starting to see that come to fruition and really having a more powerful authentication and access product for the workforce.
So down the line, is this the kind of thing that you expect all companies would need to have access to if they're dealing with information or IP that they want to keep secure?
I 100% think that this will be ubiquitous. Obviously, I've drank our own Kool-Aid, but when you look at how fragmented the interviewing, the onboarding, the access control, the offboarding process is, we need to drive greater security physically and digitally, not just online, but when you're coming into the office. So I think that where we were just doesn't reflect the capabilities of where we are today from a technology perspective, and we want to help companies solve it.
But what about backlash? What about concerns? People not wanting their face to be scanned constantly, or people may feel like it has an ick factor to feel like their identity is being used, maybe even without their consent.
I think that ick factor is a major point that has driven us for 15 years. We didn't call it the ick factor, but being a trusted brand, having privacy policies that allow for consumers to understand where their data is, how it's being used, to give them control to be able to delete and purge their data. So I think one of the benefits of starting with the awesome Gle ambassadors in the airport is it's so visible, and people have really gotten to know and love the Gle brand, and we bring it to life every day with great ambassadors who can also talk to it. And so being a trusted brand and bringing that trust to our partners and to our consumers and doing what you say you're going to do, and allowing them to have access to and control of their data and information is really important.
So have you seen any backlash from the employee base at companies like T-Mobile?
I think there's always a little bit of hand-holding and education, and so we've really been out in front with our partners, and so the acceptance rate has been enormously good.
So let's talk about your original business, which is travel. What are you seeing in terms of the travel market right now? We've seen the airline stocks go up and down, a lot of questions about impact on consumer, economic volatility. What is your visibility right now?
We love the travel business. I have been a broken record for the past few years saying that we see a strong secular demand for travel, and we do not see that stopping. People love traveling. I think day of travel is really hard, and we're here to help consumers win the day of travel. We've seen consistent strength this year in travel. July 4th traffic was up 2.3%. You saw airlines like Delta come out today and talk about the stabilization that they're seeing and the growth ahead that they're seeing. So you're seeing record numbers, over 3 million people come through airports, and we see that number consistently growing. And it's all about bringing assets to help travelers win the day of travel. Yesterday we announced a concierge product so people can go to the Gle mobile app and have a great Gle ambassador come help them through the airport. It's a really exciting time in travel, and ahead of World Cup and Olympics, travelers want better experiences.
And in terms of healthcare, what's next for you in terms of your healthcare expansion?
So healthcare is a huge opportunity on both the workforce side and on the patient side. A few months ago, we announced our partnership with Epic. So being in Epic's toolbox as an identity layer there and really helping hospitals bring patients their data in a seamless way.
Here in Sun Valley, there's a lot of talk about the political environment, regulatory environment. How is the Trump administration impacting your company and your ability to expand?
The Trump administration has been an unbelievable partner in driving public-private partnerships. Their openness to ideas, their desire to have the private sector deploy capital and innovation in a rapid way to benefit American travelers, their love of made in America companies like Gle has been so refreshing. We haven't always experienced that, and what we walk around saying is we want to make airports great again, and never has it been more important than ahead of the World Cup as the world comes to America and sees our infrastructure after experiencing infrastructure in places like Doha. We should be very digital, very consumer friendly, and very secure.
Yeah, the World Cup as well as the Olympics. Thank you so much for joining us. Karen Simon Becker, CEO of Gle. I'm Julie Borston here in Sun Valley, Idaho.